Aren't you taking this fall fashion thing a little too far?
You know, just trying to keep up with the trends.
No. I think that you are trying to hide from the landlord because of the great glitter catastrophe of 2017.
Yeah, so don't blow my cover.
Where's all this glitter coming from?
Okay, I'm gonna get under the cloak and we're gonna make like a bush. Ready? We're a bush.
Hi everyone, welcome to DamselsinDIY.
We had a request from Kira Wolf about making a cloak, but not your typical dark themed cloak.
So today we're going to show you how to make this fun fall leaf themed cloak.
It will work great for everyday outerwear or wonderful for keeping you warm in your fairy costumes for fall.
So let's get started.
What you will need to make this cloak: sewing machine and optional serger, scissors, pins, measuring tape, a fabric marking tool, hand sewing needles, at least 2.5 yards of 60-inch warm lining fabric, at least 2.5 yards of 60-inch heavy woven facing fabric, optional 2.5 yard 60-inch sheer decorative outer fabric, thread, you will need a good amount, thread wax, and a decorative hook clasp. Take your facing fabric and fold it in half this way. With your measuring tape, measure a loose circle around your neck. Find the halfway mark on your fabric, take half of the measurement you made, and then using your measuring tape, make a half circle mark in the fabric like this around the center point in your fold. Now create half of a maple leaf shape around your circle like this. Make sure that the tall point of the leaf is in the back and the bottom points meet partway in the front. Also try and make sure there is a balanced amount of fabric in the front and back of the cloak. You can also do other styles of leaves if you choose. If you mess up a little, feel free to adjust your leaf shapes. Now cut out your pattern while making sure to add 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. Make sure to cut your front fold open like this to create a front opening of the cloak. Now fold over your outer facing and inner facing fabrics and use your pattern to cut out one pattern piece for each of those as well. Now create your hood pattern. Take the measurement of your lower neck up over your head and back down to your lower neck again like this. Divide this measurement in half and add 3 inches to it. Use this to create your hood height. Make a line on your facing fabric edge that reflects this height. Now make a line to the back that goes about 15 to 17 inches back. Use these 2 lines to form a box like this. Now take your loose neck measurements from before and use it to make a curved lower edge at the bottom of the hood pattern. Take the back edge of that curved line and round it to the top of the hood like this. Now round that line out over the top of the box to the front of the hood like this. Last, add this decorative edge out about 2 inches in the front before going straight down to the beginning edge of the pattern. With those lines drawn, you have your finished hood pattern. Now cut that pattern out with your fabric folded over so that you get 2 pieces. Once that is done, cut 2 folded over pieces from your lining and outer facing fabrics as well. With that done, you have all your pattern pieces. Now pin your outer facing and facing materials for your cloak shapes together like this. Now take your facing and outer facing hood pieces and pin them together. Sew a seam all the way around the pinned edge. Now do the same but with your lining pieces, then trim the seams and zigzag stitch the edges if you don't have a serger. Base sew a line from the neckline to prevent the materials from stretching during the rest of the process. Now take your lining piece and do the same to it on its own. Base your necklines on the cloak pieces, just like you did with the hood pieces. Take your outer cloak piece and pin the edges all around to stabilize the 2 pieces together a bit before the next step. Now pin how you want your leaf veins to go across the cloak and hood pieces. We're making ours have a continuous line down the back that has branching lines, just like this. Once those are pinned, either do a satin stitch on your machine, or if you don't have one, do a closed zigzag stitch to follow the lines. We are doing a brown thread satin stitch on ours for the veins. Now take out your hood piece and cloak piece and pin them right sides together at the neckline. Sew along the neckline to connect them. If you are doing a centered satin vein like us, make sure to line those veins up during this process. After sewing the outer pieces together, do the same with your lining pieces. Like before, trim and zigzag the edge of the seam if you don't have a serger. Now take your two cloak pieces and pin them right sides together all the way around the pieces. Sew them together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance while leaving an 8-inch hole along the front edge. Again, if you don't have a serger for this step, trim and zigzag stitch the seam allowance. After that, fold your cloak inside out, making sure to press out any corners and edges. Now sew an 1/8 of an inch to a 1/4 inch press seam all along the edges you just sewed, making sure to close the gap you used to turn your project out. Now your cloak body should be finished. All you have to do is sew your hook clasps on with waxed thread. And with that, you have your leaf-themed cloak.
If you want to get notified about every single video we make, go ahead and click the bell-shaped button up in the corner next to our subscribe button on our homepage.
Now we're doing the bead bag giveaway a little differently this week. We want to hear what your favorite fall fashion item is. We're going to pick our favorite comment and then send you some beads.
And don't forget to check the rules for the contest in the description below.
Thank you so much for watching again. See you next time!